Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to be making some fun giveaways for Christmas, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, I had this light up snowflake, and I thought it was kind of bland, and I'm going to be dropping off a lot of gifts to a local nursing home, and the one thing that I don't like is things that are just kind of bland, and this was way too bland for me. So what I did is I took some of my Tombow Mono Aqua Glue and I just put it in all over it, and I'm trying to make sure that there aren't any clumps of it. And then we're going to just put some glitter. This is Martha Stewart glitter that I've had a really long time. We're going to put some paper under there and make it glittery. Because why not, right? I have a lot of different projects we're going to be doing just for senior citizens, like I said. Anything that doesn't stick, I'm just going to keep dumping that on, and then I'm going to, after it's all covered, the most important part after you've pressed in your glitter is to make sure that you get the glitter off the top and the sides of your snowflake. I don't know if you can see that in these sections, but you can, I can see it, and you want to get that all off. It's not hard to do if it's not dried on. It just kind of wipes right off, but you want to make sure you do it. Okay, let's turn it on so we can see if the lights are still shining through. I'm going to turn off this light so you can see it. See it? There it is. So I'm going to go get a cloth so I can wipe off all of this, the edges, and I'll be right back. So here's another idea of something you can do that's very inexpensive, and if you have picture frames that you have in your stash or that you don't like anymore, this is a great way to use them up. So what I do is, this is a 5x7 frame. I slide in a piece of 5x7 pattern paper, and then I put the cardboard backing back in, and then I put the backing back on it. You're thinking to yourself, geez, all you did, Sandy, was put a piece of paper in there. Yep, that's all I did so far. Once it's like this, then you're going to take some kind of an ornament, and in this case, I have this one that I got at Dollar General last year, and it was $1 at Dollar General. Hard to believe. Anything was $1 at Dollar General. And then I'm going to add hot glue to the back of it. Don't be cheap with the hot glue. You want to make sure this thing is going to hold up, and then you're just going to make sure that you're centered. And I'm going to try and center mine so it doesn't look crazy. You can take off the hook if you like, but I like the little balls on the hook. I thought it was fun. Is it crooked? It could be crooked. No, it's better. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and you just want to make sure that it sets up so that the glue holds it in place, and that one's done. So see how long that took? Seconds. And I think it makes a great gift. What I do with these gifts is I give them to senior citizens that are in nursing homes, because I think it's nice for them to have a little decoration that they could someone could hang it on their door for them, they could sit it on their dresser, they could hang it on the wall. But it's nice and cheerful, and I like it. I have this one that says Merry Christmas. It's kind of an odd shape, and I'm hoping I have something that'll work with it. Oh, let me show you a couple more that I made. Same technique. You're going to just glue paper in the inside of the frame, and then this ornament came from Dollar Tree. I'm not crazy about how it looks like the bead has some gunk on it. I'm not really thrilled by that, but what are you going to do? Sometimes the Dollar Tree has gunk on it. Then this one, I had a cardboard ornament of this little angel, and I took the string off of it and I put it inside the frame, so it's completely hidden. No, it's completely inside. No, nothing to glue on the outside, so nothing to fall off. All right, so when you have a weird size, like a weird shaped frame, like this is an oval, the easiest thing to do would be to, I want to get all this stuff out of the way first because that would make sense. No, I'm not gonna. Why would I? I'm gonna put this as close to the edge as I can. If you have a pattern, you need to make sure that your pattern is not crooked. Like you could turn this a little way, a little bit, and it would be a weird crooked look. So you don't want that. You want to make sure that it's straight up and down if you're going to do if you're doing a frame, a pattern that has a direction. If I was you, I would pick a pattern that doesn't have a direction because it'll be a lot easier for you. Okay, I have some old ornaments that I got at the Dollar Tree. I think this might work. It's a bell, and I'm going to cut off the string because I don't need the string. Ooh. And I think with this one, it ought to fit inside my frame. So we're going to open up the frame again. I don't think I'm going to need the cardboard in there now. Now, the secret is to make sure I center it and get it straight up and down. Now I just need to dig through my frames and find some more that will work for these other things, and I'll be right back. So I found a frame that would work with this ornament, and I think I need to put some twine at the top. Maybe not twine, maybe more like burlap. So I'm going to get my goldfish bowl. If you've never seen this, I'll show it to you because it's really cute. Hold on, gotta get everything out of the way. I don't know if you can see this, but you see the fish on it? Right there, or right there, right there. I just filled it with all kinds of twines and anything that would work for small projects like this that, you know, that I just have to pull them out to get them, you know, to use them. I'm looking for one that looks like twine. I know I have one. There it is. There it is. Of course, it's not where I thought it would be, but it is. It is at the top like it's supposed to. I didn't think it was out, you know, like hanging out of the top, which was a bad sign. Anyway, that's what I do with my goldfish bowl. It's adorable, isn't it? I'll probably break it at some point in my life. I'm gonna tie it through the top. So I have this frame that's an 8 by 10 frame. It must have come from the Dollar Tree because it's very flimsy. And the glass in it isn't glass, it's just the lightweight plastic sheeting. And I'm going to put those pieces in to my frame. I'm not going to, I think I'm going to have to put my project on the outside, which is this, it's light, it's not heavy. I'm contemplating it. I used some old papers from a set I got. I think I got this, I might be making it up, at Hobby Lobby. It's this one. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's a Jolly Whimsy stack from Die Cuts with a View. Oldie but a goodie. Still using it after all these years. Then I have some cardboard pieces I need to slide in here. So one more thing, just so you don't forget, make sure when you have a frame like this that doesn't have a super obvious hook like that, make sure that you have it face up when you put this down. So if you see in the bottom here, this, you can't hang anything from this. You can hang it from this side and you can hang it from up here. So you have to make sure when you do this that you regroup and make sure it's face up. So I'm going to put him, her, whatever we're going to call this ornament, somewhere like that, I think. I'm using my glue, well, I thought it was on low temp. It was on high. It's supposed to be on low so that we don't melt our plastic. So I'm going to cool it down for a second. I'm just going to put it on here, and then I'm going to make sure it had time to cool a little bit. Now, as far as your string goes, you could just leave it up here. You could use a glue dot under it. I think I'm going to put a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of hot glue. This is where I'm going to burn myself. Wait for it. I'm going to put a little dot right there, and then do a little twirly to get it to come off, or yeah, get the glue to make sure my glue does a nice job of coming off without having a lot of strings. My string is now attached to the front, and because I put that one little dot of glue, it'll stay, but I'm going to put another dot of glue near the top so that we can be sure that our little loop stays in place. So here's another one done. I think it's fun. Kind of frisky. I thought about putting some little white pearls on this. Why wouldn't I? Make it look like it snowed, but also make it more three-dimensional. Now this is when you can use a lot of different kinds of glue. I think I'm going to use Barely Art Glue. If your glue struggles to come out, even when you have that little pin in it, which mine sometimes does, like right now, the easiest way to fix it, if it won't come out, is you get a very long straight pin and you push it down in there, and you kind of plunge it like you would your drains. How would I know? I've never plunged a drain. I'm just saying. One more time. Let's see if I can squeeze it out. Oh, now we've got it going. Way too big of a blob though. I'm just going to put little dots around. I like the pearls. I think they really add to it. See the little shimmer that they put off? Yep, so that's that one. The next one is going to be, I bought these Recollections snowflakes. You got 24 of them. They were doilies. And I'm just going to take one of them and glue them. Here's my glass. I cut my paper to the size of the glass. Actually, I cut it bigger than the size of the glass. I don't know how that happened, but we're going to have to, maybe I did it to the size of the inside of the frame. You'll know in a second what I did it to, because, you know, clearly I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to put my glass back in. Try not to wound myself when I do it. If you have a direction to your paper, you need to make sure that the bottom is facing this way. Mine does not have a direction. It's just snowflakes. This frame is 5 by 5, so I cut my paper to 5 by 5, and oh, I forgot to put my snowflake on it. That would have been helpful, wouldn't it? I have cardboard pieces that go inside here too, and when I played with this before, it seemed like it worked better when I had it like this. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to hot glue it because, you know, I want to burn myself. I haven't burned myself yet on these projects, so I'm shooting for it now. And I'm going to put a little bit of a glob in the middle so that I can get a teeny bit of dimension. If you're having a bet about how long it's going to take me to burn myself, trust me, it's not going to be much longer. Because, you know, I'm skilled at burning myself. And I do have the silicone tips. I could be using those, but you know, I forget what I do with them. And then when I remember what I do with them, then it's too late because I've already burned myself. And That's just how it rolls. Believe it or not, these have a specific way they have to glue down. And if you don't glue them down in the right way, it isn't going to lay flat, or isn't going to lay so you can't see the one under it. I finally figured out which way it goes. And I'm going to put a little bit on each of these little enders. Got a little bit of glue string here. If you have glue strings that are underneath that are attached to everything and you don't like the look of them, use your hot glue gun and they will, or not your, yeah, use your hot glue gun, that'll help. No, you're going to use your heat tool that you would use for embossing, and that, my friends, will make it work. So it gets rid of all those nasty strings. And you're going to put the cardboard back in that came with the frame. There's the next one. So I already put the paper in. This is an 8.5 by 11 frame, and I got it at Dollar Tree. I also got this at Dollar Tree. I didn't realize he had this weird gold glue mark on him. That kind of bums me out, but what are you gonna do? You got him now. No going back. So I'm gonna add spots of glue, of hot glue, to the back, and one of them, hopefully, will attach to his antler, because his antler is the only thing that's holding him on to the wreath. I'll show you in a second. I'm putting a new glue stick in while we're talking. I like to put hot glue on the tip of my new stick, and then I jam it in there and glue it to the one before it, and then you don't have that problem where you're always monkeying around with it. Okay, anyway, back to this. If you can see this, it's got, like, I don't know, we'll call those rubber bands maybe that are attached to the antlers. I'm not thrilled about that, so what I'm going to do, actually they look like twist ties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some hot glue behind the antlers. It's going to hopefully glue it to that wreath in the back. And also it's going to maybe glue the wreath to our frame. I'm putting glue pretty much as far around our wreath as I can do it so that it adheres to it, to the frame. I know what you're thinking. This is when she glues herself to this and it's going to make her scream. It probably will. Okay, let's hope for the best. Get off there. Turn him over. I know I didn't put any glue on the outer tips of this, so the outer part should not burn me. That's what I went for. Don't burn myself. It's smart if you, when you hot glue things, if you figure out where you're not going to put hot glue like I did, so that you know exactly where it's going to look good and where it's going, or where the glue is going to work and where it's not going to burn you. I think I need to do something to cover that up. That's kind of weird, isn't it? You want to vote on that? Weird? Not weird? I think it's weird. I think it needs to have something on it. I think I glued it too high up on the frame. I could take it back off, but you know what? I'm not gonna. The other thing I want to make sure of is sometimes when you glue these to glass and they go outside in the cold air and then you go back into the warm air, it will loosen the hot glue. So to avoid that happening, I'm going to use some E6000. If I have to later clean that E6000 off, it's not going to be easy. So if you can clean it off now, now's the best time to do it. Like if you can scrape it out from under there with your fingernail or whatever you use, whatever is going to work for you. Do you see that glue right there? I'm just going to push it down so it's underneath, and then take my finger and wipe off the excess so it's not sticking where everybody in the world can see it. Oh, here's what I found. I found a little poinsettia that I thought I could stick right there and make him look a little more festive and hide that spot. I know, he's a boy because he's got antlers, but now he's a boy that likes a little bling. I'm going to go with the red ones instead. I'll just take them off of this. little stem of these. See if I can take a few of them off there and glue them on to him. Let's see if that'll work. We'll dollop right there and hopefully figure out a way to stick this into it. He's looking good, I think. This is another frame from Dollar Tree, another 8.5 by 11. All you do is bend back these little wires that are on the side and put my paper in and the cardboard back. Make sure if it's patterned that if it's an up and down pattern that you have the top of your pattern over here, and if it's a side to side pattern that you have the top over here. Again, this is the top because that's where our hook is. So we're going to put that side up. Now, it's a decision. Are we going to go with Noel? Or are we going to go with our deer? I need to buy some more frames. I need some bigger frames because I have some diamond paintings that are, I don't know why they make diamond paintings such weird sizes, but that 30 by 40 millimeters, it just doesn't work with the frames that you find here. You just can't make them, it just doesn't work. All right, let me look at this one. I think I like the Noel better. Although they were the same size, you wouldn't know that from looking at them. They kind of look like this one's way bigger, but it's not. All we're going to do with this one is we're going to add some hot glue to it first, and then we'll probably, after this, we'll probably add some E6000 just to be secure in our gluing. So that is our next one. I know you're thinking, geez, these are simple. Yeah, they're simple, but if you want ideas for gifts for people that you want to be able to mass produce, the simpler the better. The faster you can do it, the better too, you know? Okay, let me go back to, I was telling you about the size of diamond paintings. This is a 30 by 40 diamond painting, and it is the typical size of the smallest diamond paintings that you can get. It's unfortunate because here in the United States, it's almost impossible to find a frame that is 9 1/4 by 9 1/2. It's a very odd size. So you can't use an 8.5 by 11 frame. You can't use a square frame. I mean, there are so many problems with this. So I've been looking at thrift stores to find them, because this is one of the things I like to do for the holidays. I like to take all the diamond paintings I've made this year and share them with senior citizens, and there's a lot of ladies in senior housing that love cats. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make these giveaways for Christmas. I think they're fun to give, and I hope you do too. And I hope you give this a thumbs up and subscribe. And please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.